Okay, you're ready.
Okay. My speech today is on hate crimes. I'm really up against hate crimes. I'm really up against bullying, disliking someone for their differences, disliking them for anything. I don't care if it's the food they eat, the religion they believe in, the different traditions that their family has. I just think hating on people, period, point blank, is dead wrong. And that you should actually embrace somebody else's differences because you might like it, and you know, it's also a learning opportunity. There's two quotes that I really like that I found. One is, "I have a dream other people are treated equal and not abused or even killed because they are different. If my dream for change was a reality, the world would be a better place." That's what Martin Luther King said. There was a man named Dr. Michael Hassel from the Histological Society of Philadelphia that said persons of hate crimes use explosives, arsons, weapons, vandalize, physically harm, threats, and instill fear into their victims. Victims of this hate are left vulnerable, alienated, fearful, and can even develop psychological problems. Targets for these hate crimes are different genders, race, people with disabilities, different religions, different sexual orientations, marriage, the way they have sex, traditions, even food. People have a lot of hate for even people that eat like rats or cats or dogs you hear about with Chinese people, and even like people with learning disabilities is a big thing in the schools, big time. Like they make fun of kids for being stupid and slow because they need to be in a remedial class. Some cases that I found were actually in Augusta, Michigan. 2 black families experienced a series of hate crimes, including a cross burning on their front lawn and vandalism of their vehicle. In Guthrie, Kentucky, a white male was killed by several black men just for having a Confederate flag on the back of his truck, and it was because he actually was a Reebok's promoter. 2 more were 3 black youths were wounded in a Ku Klux Klan drive-by shooting of a black club in Lexington, South Carolina. Another incident that we just had recently was where a young homosexual was dragged out of his house because he was being exposed to homo and was taken to the creek and sexually molested and murdered right here in Vestal, New York, right behind our school. These are some of the effects of hate crimes that we have. Victims of the effects of the hate crimes, they have flashbacks, they have constant tension, they suffer from anxiety, panic symptoms, hyper-alertness, inability to relax, nightmares, antisocial, suicidal, always reassessing surroundings, inability to trust, and they pick up a lot of new weird habits. The weird habits could include different things that they do to their body, different ways that they interact with people socially, just weird habits that's out of the ordinary for that person if you know them personally. I think some great ways to help prevent hate crimes from happening in schools or in the community would be that students should receive hate crime prevention classes as early as receiving sex education. I feel that if a child is eligible or they feel like they're capable enough to understand sex, they're definitely able to understand the differences of people as we are together. And they also need to learn how to agree upon disagreeing. You're not going to agree with what everyone does, but embrace it, and just as long as it doesn't affect you as an individual, you and your circle, don't worry about it, just let it fly. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. I feel like they should also teach students on numerous amounts of different topics that are hate crime targets. And they should also come up with they should also come up with a committee to teach educators, which are teachers, to recognize hate crime tendencies for students, different students. Like if you see a student that's bullying a child, the teacher should know to, pull that child aside and maybe have like some sort of meeting with that child to find out what's really the underlying problem of this. Because in all reality, a lot of hate crimes are actually something that is done in the home that the child was raised with. How else can we prevent these hate crimes? We can also raise awareness of hate crimes and how to report them. We can increase confidence in reporting, because a lot of people are really scared to report hate crimes because they're afraid that the violence might turn back on them. We can identify and tackle repeat victimizers to let them know that we are not playing with you. You're not going to be bullying anyone around here. We can also respond quickly to incidents. The faster that incidents like this are taken care of, the least amount of drama you have to deal with. You can provide practical and emotional support to the victims, because they definitely need an uplifting and they need to know that someone cares. We can start an effective case management program, so that this way you can also work with the victim and the victimizer, and who knows, maybe you might even be able to make them friends. You can also get involved with legislation, write your congressman and tell them that we need to have these classes, that it's a big deal when a kid comes to school with a gun and stuff, because he just does not like what some people are doing in class. But if he had these courses in these committees that exist, then maybe he never would have came to school with a gun. You can also attend different interventions and communicate that a change is definitely needed, and you can always tell them that stop the hate, and it's serious. It's serious. The hate crime is serious. That's all I had.